Hello all, welcome to another quick learning. Today we're going back to CodeSignal to work on database SQL coding exercises. Joining us in the middle of the playlist, I'll put a link in the description below so you can start from the first video if you wish. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to the arcade, going to databases. Then we're at the last section here, a table of desserts. Number 81, sort book chapters. You found a really old computer at your local library and it looks like there's still some data about old library books left on its hard drive. After closer examination, you've discovered that there's a book chapters table which has the following structure. So the chapter name and the chapter number, which is a unique number of the chapter written as a Roman numeral. Note that there could be gaps in chapter numbers. Also, every library book has fewer than 1,000 chapters. Here is the table of Roman numeral symbols and their values. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Roman numerals, if you have this capital I, it's worth 1, V, 5, X, 10, etc. But also the order matters. So for instance, let's look at this one. Because this I, which is a lower value than this X, which is 10, is to the left of it, it actually subtracts. So this, you'd have add 10 and then subtract 1. So this would actually be 9 here. So imitation, if you look down here, you can see that's 9. All right. So after looking through the library, you found what seems to be the remnants of this same book. Unfortunately, these chapters are not numbered on the pages. You decided to find the order in which you should read the book's chapters by using the old computer and the information stored in the book chapters table. Given the book chapters table, compose a results table that consists of a single column, chapter name, that contains the names of the book's chapters. The table should be sorted in ascending order by the chapter's actual numbers. All right. So this is what the table of book chapters looks like. Chapter name and then the Roman numeral chapter number. And what they want is this output, which is sorted by the chapter number. So behavior in general is 1, so that's number 1 there. Imitation is 9, so that's the next highest. All right, so how would we do this? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the code here. I'm going to minimize this a little bit. So you can see here there's a function that's going to be called in somewhere else. That's going to translate. So you're going to enter a letter that's a varchar, so a text field, string, if you will. It's only going to be 1 in length, and we're going to turn an integer. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through this case statement. If the letter is an I, then it's going to do 1. So it's basically this table here that has the values of the Roman numerals. It goes all the way to 1,000. And they said that nothing has more than 1,000. I'm not sure how many symbols there are for Roman numerals, if there's anything even larger than 1,000, I'm not sure. All right, so that's translating all of the letters into a numerical number. And then we have another function here called compile Roman. And this one you can put in a varchar of 100, which you're going to be putting in the chapter Roman numerals. And it's going to spit out what the chapter number is. So this symbol that you're feeding into it, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the symbol and you're going to set it to the reverse of symbol. So the reason why we do that is you really evaluate Roman numerals going from right to left. So that's why we reverse it, so that we can look at that order that way. And then we have a variable called result. And we're going to use the translate function to look up what the first letter is. So this substring tells us it's going to be the first character of symbol and 1 length. So remember, we're going from right to left after we reversed it. So this cast up, so we'd be looking at this X, and then the translate would go in here, look at the case statement. Okay, that's letter X, so it's going to return 10. So result's going to start out as 10. And then there's a while loop. So it's going to keep going through there until it gets to the end of this Roman numeral string. And it's going to look at 2 characters at a time. So first one is going to be the first character of symbol. So again, we're going from right to left. So in cast up, it would look at this X, and then it would look at the I. The reason it's doing that is because if this I is a lower value than the X, then the I has to subtract from the value. So then this result uses this if statement to put in the negative if that's the case. So this I here would subtract 1 instead of adding 1 because it is to the left of the X, which is a higher value. And then we set the symbol starting from the second character. So after we've done this character, then it's going to cut that off and we'll just have ILX. All right. And that'll end the while loop and we'll return the result. So this will compile whatever the chapter value is. And then there's just the stored procedure here that's going to give us the select results. So we just very simply select chapter name from the book chapters table, and we're ordering by this function here. That's going to calculate what the chapter number is with an integer value. All right. So hopefully you guys are able to follow along with that, and you'll join me for future videos. Thank you very much.